Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. In this video, I will be discussing important subjects for Infosys interview. Guys, in this video, I will be covering the important subjects for all the three roles, that is system engineer specialist, as well as power program role of Infosys. So guys, make sure that you watch this video till the end. This video can be longer, but I have covered every subject in detail. I will be discussing each and every topic from the subject that is most frequently asked in Infosys, as well as which have been asked in the previous years. So guys, make sure that you do not leave the video in between and watch till the end of this video. Guys, if you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe it, as well as join my Telegram group also, because I will be posting regular updates on different companies which are hiring, as well as in future I will be posting the real interview experiences of people who has given interview in Infosys. So make sure that you do not miss those updates and are present on this channel as well as are present on my Telegram group. So guys, now let's start this video, and before starting the video, please hit the like button as well as subscribe button for this channel. Okay, so the first important point for this video is resume. Guys, resume is the most important part of an interview, and this particular point, that is resume, is important for all roles equally, whether it is SC, SCS or PP. So it is important for all the roles equally. So there are few points in resume where the discussion can happen. So first of such point is internship. Now when talking about internship, your interviewer can ask you about your internship, project you worked on during the internship, and technologies you worked in the project of internship. So let's make sure that if you are mentioning any internship in the resume, you must be thorough with at least these 3 points, because they will be surely asked if the interview is happening through your resume. So make sure that you know about your internship, you know about the technologies that you have used in project, and as well as you must know your role in the project. So make sure that in internship section, if you have mentioned 2 internships or 3 internships, all these 3 points are thorough with you for every particular internship. Now, the next point in a resume can be projects. Now, projects is the most important part of an interview. I think in 90% of interviews, the projects you have mentioned in resume is asked. So guys, from my experience, you can say that you should mention at least 2 projects in your resume. If you have mentioned single project, doesn't matter, and if you have time, you can add on some projects in your resume, and if you do not have any time left for your interview, you can simply go with 1 project. But if you have time, you must add 2 projects. Now in projects, when asked about projects, what questions can be asked from the project? First is about your project. So again, it is simple definition you have to give about your project. You can explain your project in 30 to 40 seconds. Now next thing is technology stack you used in the project. So your projects can be on Android basics, or the project can be on machine learning. So you must know the technology stack that you have used in the project. Now, what all challenges you faced in your project? So guys, while doing machine learning projects, most of us face the problem that the data is very large, so we cannot store data at one place. So this can be your one problem that you solved. Now second, next point in resume, in projects that can be asked is how you overcome these challenges. So one point, how you overcome like data challenge, you can simply say we use an external storage, we have used Drive for our storage. So you can say these things, how you overcome these challenges. Now next thing is, what is the future scope of your project? So guys, if you are doing any project, that must have some future scope. It is not just that you have to mention in the resume, that's why you have written the project. There must be a future scope of your project. So guys, you must prepare at least these 5 points for every project you have mentioned in resume, and you must not tell lie about projects in a resume. Now the next thing that can be asked from your resume is skill set you mentioned in resume. So most of us mention languages, we know machine learning or Android or Java, so we can mention all these skills. But guys, make sure that you mention only those skills in which you are comfortable in. If you know only one skill, then mention only one skill. Be honest in an interview, do not lie in your resume, because if you will lie in resume and interview comes to know that, then it will be a problem for you. So make sure that you mention only those things in resume which you are comfortable in, and you can answer it very easily. So guys, these were all the important topics which can be asked from resume. So I have told you the questions about that particular thing. So now resume part is over, and I have told you that this resume thing is equally important for all the roles equally. That is, it can be SC, SCS or PP. So first point is this much only. Now the second part is programming concept. Guys, when you are giving interview in Infosys, programming concepts play a handy role. Now these programming concepts, whenever asked from the candidate, differ from role to role. So from SC role, that is if you are given the system engineer interview, then it will be light questions. If you are given SCS role, then it will be medium level questions which can be asked to you in an interview. And when you are given PP interview, then it can be difficult. So let's just discuss about all these things. Okay, so searching and sorting algorithms are important for all roles. So whether you are given any role interview, you must know all the searching and sorting techniques with their time complexities. Now these algorithms include linear search, binary search, bubble sort, selection sort, insertion sort. You must know their time complexities, how you must know their algos, and you must be able to write the code in front of the interviewer when asked about these algorithms. So these things are important for all the roles. But when we are coming to sample questions for SE, so these questions are taken from previous year experience. So the sample questions for system engineer can be easy, that is reverse a number, that is an easy question, reverse a string, bubble sorting as I've discussed earlier, reverse an array, a Fibonacci number. So these are some sample questions which were asked from system engineer interview. Now next are the sample questions of programming which are asked from SCS candidate. There can be prime number using the sieve method, then there can be pattern printing, then there can be Fibonacci of two types. One is a simple Fibonacci and second one is the with recursion technique. Now next one is the factorial. Again same thing, you can ask to write a factorial program with recursion and without recursion. Now last sample question for this is max contiguous subarray sum. So guys, these are the sample questions which are taken from previous year interviews. This is just to give you an idea that how is the level of the coding questions which are asked in the interview. You must able to explain the concept behind this question, as well as to write the you should write the code in front of the interviewer. Now coming to the PP role. Now PP role, we all know that it is 8 CTC, so all the programming questions that will be asked will be little above average, that is they will be on difficult side. So once is reverse linked list, it is of moderate level, not that much difficult. Then is coin change problem, that is it is a DP problem. So DP and graph problems are most common in PP role. So BFS, you must know BFS and DFS of graph. So these are the previous year questions only that are asked in this PP role. Next is the knapsack problem, again it's a DP question. Then is the water trapping problem, it's again a tricky question, it is not of DP or graph, but these are the sample questions. So you must have gotten the fair idea about what type of questions are asked in different types of roles. Now study real life, last point of this particular thing is study real life implementation of data structure. So as there are data structures like stack, queues, linked list, so these are all data structure and you must know the real life implementation of these data structures. Now this particular point is important for candidates who are giving SCS role or PP role. So those candidates who are giving system engineer interview, this question is not that common, that is the real life implementation. But if you have time for the interview, then again you can study for the same. So I have discussed the second subject also, that is the programming concept, and I have discussed every detail that what all types of questions are asked in different types of roles. Now coming to the third point, that is object oriented programming. Again guys, this is important for all the roles, irrespective of the fact which role you are giving. There will be 2 or 3 questions in an interview regarding object oriented programming. Now how to prepare for the same? See, just stick with one language and prepare OOPS concept for that language only. Guys, you do not need to know all the languages, just stick with one language. Either you pick up C++ or you can pick up Java or Python. You must stick with that particular language only. Now the topics that can be asked in this OOPS concepts, OOPS programming. So one is the feature of OOPS. Guys, irrespective of the fact whether you have chosen any language, these feature of OOPS remain same. Feature of OOPS are polymorphism. You must know the definition and as well as an example of these terms. First is polymorphism, then is inheritance, then is abstraction, then is encapsulation. So I'm just discussing the topics you have to study, but you will have to study these topics on your own. And if you want me to make these videos, please comment down and like this video. Now the next topic that is important is types of polymorphism and types of inheritance. So we know that polymorphism is of 2 types: compile time polymorphism, runtime polymorphism. And types of inheritance, we know that single level, multi-level. So these are types of inheritance you must study in detail. Now next thing that you must study is what are access modifiers, that is private, public, protected and default. Again, these access modifiers depends on the language you choose, because there are private, public, protected data types in C++, and there is one more data type in Java, that is default data type. So again, all the access modifiers are language dependent. Now next is what are different types of constructors. Again, this is common for all the languages. There are generally 3 types of constructor. One is copy constructor, parameterized constructor, default constructor. Again, if you know any other constructor, you can mention that again. Now the next thing that is important in OOPS programming languages, OOPS question is keyword specific to language. So for example, you are a Java guy, so there are certain keywords like final, finally, super. So these are most commonly used in Java. So you must know the keywords that is specific to that language. So for that you have to go and study on the Geeks for Geeks, because they have such good articles based on OOPS concept. Now Java, there are specific languages, specific keywords like final, finally, super. Similarly to Java, there is C++ where there are certain keywords like friend function, virtual functions. Now similarly to that, there is keyword in Python that is, you can say underscore underscore init underscore underscore. So you must know some amount of keywords that are specific to the language you are preparing for. So guys, these were all the questions which can be asked in an OOPS concept. Guys, if you prepare, at least if you do not have time, at least prepare these particular topics only that I have discussed, and if you have remaining time, then you can go in detail for these particular topics. So I hope I have made the things clear for all the roles in object oriented programming. Now guys, if you have till now not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe it, as well as join my Telegram group also. Now the next subject is database subject. Guys, this is the second most important subject after the OOPS concepts. So again, this is also important for all the roles, whether it is SC, SCS, DSC, PP. But guys, here see, it is important for all the roles, but again the level of the questions can differ. So I will be discussing only topics that you need to study, whether you are any role guy. So the level of the questions can differ, but topics remain same. So topics are, what is the types of keys? So again, there are 4 types of keys that are mainly used in SQL, that is primary key, candidate key, super key, foreign key. And next thing is, what are features of SQL? Because in most of the colleges, our SQL is only taught to us, so they will ask features of SQL only, and they can ask one more thing, what is the difference between SQL and no SQL? Now the next thing that can be asked in an interview is DDL and DML commands. So a data definition language and data manipulation language. So DML commands are like update, delete, insert. DDL commands are like alter, create, drop. So these are all DDL commands. So you must also go thorough in this topic, whether you are of any role. Now next thing is constraint in SQL. This is also a very easy topic to study. There are around 5 to 6 constraints in SQL, like not null, check, unique, etc. So I hope the things are now clear to you. Now the next most important questions are, see, what is the difference between alter and update command? See, alter is a DDL command, update is a DML command. The another question can be asked from, what is the difference between delete, truncate and drop commands? So again, this is also a very commonly asked interview question in Infosys. So as all these topics have been derived from previous past experiences of people, and these topics, I have found that these are commonly asked in Infosys as well as in other service-based companies also. So if you want to study for other service-based companies also, then also you can follow this chart. Now the next important topics in databases, group by and having clause. So guys, whoever has studied database, they know that there is a certain things called group by, what that does, and there is also having clauses. Now after doing this, these were just basics of database. Now the real thing will be, what are joins, and the most important thing of database is normalization. So guys, in joins you have to study all types of joins, like self join, natural join, left and right joins. In normalization you need to study what is normalization, why do we need it, 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, and 3NF and BCNF. And lastly, acid properties in database. So again, acid properties are very basic question that can be asked or that cannot be asked, but you need to study it. So guys, these were all the questions which can be asked in database. But guys, see, again I am telling you, the topics remain same for all the roles, but the level of the questions differ. So when you are given a SC role, then there will be certain basic questions only from database. But when you are given the SCS role or PP role, then you can be asked to write query. So again, for SC role, there are minimal query writing interview experience I have read, and for SCS and PP role, I have seen people who have to write the query in the interview. So prepare like that only. So I hope now the things are clear for the database role. So guys, if you are an SC candidate, then these 4 topics that I have discussed till now is enough for you. But after you are done with these 4 topics and you are still have time, then you can study furthermore and you can come to software engineering. Now this software engineering is more important to SCS people and PP role people. But if you are SC role and you have certain time, then you can study this thing. Now coming to SCS and PP role, this software engineering topic is important, and generally 1 and 2 questions are asked from this topic. So So the topics that are most commonly asked is, first one is software development models and cycle. Again, this in the software engineering subject, they do not go in deep. They just ask the basic questions that an engineer must know. So first thing they can ask is software development models and cycles. I think there are around 4 to 5 models. You need to study about that. Now, what is software re-engineering? Again, there is a small definition of what is re-engineering, and just you have to give the real life example for this same, for this particular question. Now next is what is verification and validation. So again, you can study it from Google only, that in software engineering what is verification and validation. Now next questions that can be asked are, what are functional and non-functional requirements? And the last thing is, what are different types of testing, like black box testing, white box testing, and gray box testing. So guys, these are the questions these are the topics which are taken from previous interviews. Guys, these can be asked in the current interview. Plus, if you must need to study at least these things to go before the interview. So I hope the things are clear to you. The questions can be asked outside of these questions also. I'm not saying that 100% of the questions will be asked from these particular topics only that I have discussed in videos. But if you have less time, then please make sure that you go through all the topics that I have mentioned in this video. So your 70 to 80% interview will be done by studying only these topics. So I hope you are getting what I am saying. So 5 subjects are over, and the software engineering is only the extra subject that the SCS people had to study. So for SC role, the first 4 subjects were important, very much important. For SCS people, the first 5 subjects were very much important. Now we will be discussing the last 2 subjects of this video, that is the computer networks and the operating system. So these are again the important subjects for PP role, but if you are lucky, they are not that much common in the interview for these people also. So but once you are going in an interview for a PP role, they have high expectations and they can ask certain questions. Now in computer networks, they can ask these questions like, what is the difference between IPv4 and IPv6, TCP IP, UDP. So this is the most common questions which can be asked in the computer network section. Now next thing is the OSI model. So this is again the basic thing that can be asked in a computer network. We know that there are 6 to 7 layers. I am not sure, but there are around 6 to 7 layers in the OSI model, like application layer, physical layer. So you need to go through that model only. If you have less time, just go through that model, because many of the things are covered in that model only, and most of the questions which are asked in computer network are covered in that model only. Now after this, there is a very simple question that is again common in Infosys, that is differences between hub, switch and router. So you must study at least 2 differences between all these 3 things. So I think one difference is the layer on which they work on. Hub works on different OSI layer, switch works on different OSI layer, router works on different OSI layer. So again, you can go for studying this topic, you can simply Google these things and you will find easily the access to different resources. So this was all for the computer networks. Now the last subject that I will be discussing in this video is operating system. Again, this is important for PP role people, that it is operating system are not that much common to SCS people or SC people. So these are the topics that can be asked from operating system. Again, scheduling algorithms, there's 4 or 5 scheduling algorithms that you need to study. What is the difference between main memory and secondary memory? We are studying this difference from childhood only. What is the difference? So it must not be a tough question for you guys to answer. Now next thing is define partitioning. Now this particular topic requires some attention. So it is just a 1 hour topic if you start studying it very briefly, so you will get a fair idea about what is partitioning and how it is done. So the next topic is define cache memory. Again, it is a very simple question. You just need to give, whenever you need to define you have to give any definition in the interview, you must be precise and on point. So guys, these were the 7 subjects that were important for the people, and these subjects were different for different roles. So I have told you earlier also, for SC people, first 4 points of this video are very important. For SCS people, the first 5 points of this video are very important, and for PP people, all the 7 points are important, but they can focus less on this 6 and 7 points. If they have time, then only they should focus on this thing. Otherwise, they should more focus on their coding part as well as the database part and the OOPS part. Okay, so guys, I hope you like the video. Please hit the like button if you're still watching this video. So I hope you like the video. Thank you for watching it. Please subscribe this channel as well as join my Telegram also, because from now onwards I will be posting the real interview experience that happened in Infosys.